Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to another Art for All group at St Christopher's. I hope you've had a good weekend and that your week has gone smoothly thus far. Today I'm going to be trying a little bit of origami, and this is origami that you don't need any special paper for. You can just use whatever paper you have around your house. So I've got some sort of rather, I think, recycled printer paper. It's plain paper, but you could use lined paper. All you need to do is make sure that it is a square of paper. So, and to do this, you don't need to buy special square paper, just make sure that it's the same length on both edges. So I'm going to be showing you how to do this whilst having one screen showing me talking and the other screen showing my hands. So I'll just add in the other screen. It should be happening now. There we go. So you can now see my hands. So the kind of origami that we're going to be doing today is one that has a really special meaning, and it's known in Japan as Senbazuru. I may not pronounce that completely correctly. Senbazuru literally means 1,000 cranes. I'm not going to make 1,000 cranes today. I'm just going to make one and show you how to make them. You can make them with really big pieces of paper, so long as it's a square, or very, very small pieces of paper. And Senbazuru, they can be used as, I suppose, gestures of wishing good luck to someone, happiness, so eternal luck. And the crane in Japanese mythology is thought to be immortal, to live for 1,000 years. So hence the making of 1,000 cranes. And making 1,000 cranes often happens at temples in Japan, and they can be thought to also confer one wish on the person who manages to make 1,000 cranes. And the idea is also that you make 1,000 cranes within the space of a year, so you have to do it within a year. These 1,000 cranes, they can be used to make a wish for somebody's speedy recovery from an illness. And Sadako Sasaki, she was a young girl in the 1950s in Japan, and because of her struggle with cancer, and cancer that came about because of the bombing of Hiroshima, she tried to make 1,000 cranes. And there are different versions of the story about how many cranes she managed to make, and her family and her community getting involved. Sports teams also will present 1,000 cranes to sports team members to wish them good luck in their sporting endeavours. And JAXA, the Japanese Space Agency, actually used the making of 1,000 cranes to test their astronauts to see if they had the kind of mental fortitude and the right attitude to be astronauts. So it's been used in lots and lots of different ways, but it's something that's really easy to make at home, and I'll show you how just now. So first of all, what you want to do is have your square sheet of paper, and you want to fold it into a rectangle one way, and then unfold it and fold it into a rectangle the other way. And then you turn your paper over like this, and you have the folds. These are both folds that are sort of pointing up towards the ceiling at the moment, and now you want to fold diagonally. And then turn the paper around and then fold diagonally again. And what you can see we end up with is that these folds here, the rectangle folds, they're all going down towards the ground, and the diagonal folds are up like this. So then what we want to do is fold the paper back out, and see if I get this right. We want to fold it so that these folds become like this. So you're reversing the folds now. And slightly wrestling with this. And putting them in there like that. There we go. And eventually, what you want to end up with is a square of paper like this. So I'll turn it, and you want to have a flap like this that opens like that. So then, and you want to have the same on the other side. So like that. And if you see on the sides, these sides point down in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this. This is called a petal fold. I'm going to fold one of these open flaps, fold it quite delicately. Fold out like that, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. So folding almost into the middle, and then I end up with this shape, which is almost like a kite shape. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So folding up. Trying to get it as neat as possible. Not my forte. And then folding like this. And then you end up with this. So you have these two bits here, and you have these bits. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold again these legs almost to the middle, not quite to the middle, but almost to the middle. So it looks like this. I'm going to do that on the other side. And I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to do that again, folding almost to the middle. And then I'm going to fold the wings down. So these will be the wings. Give them a little bit of a fold. And then what I have here, I'm going to fold these bits here, these long bits. This is going to be the tail. This is going to be the head and the neck. So I then fold them inside and then refold again so that I end up with this. So you can see the wing is there, that's there. I'm going to do the same on this side, just folding inside, folding in, trying to angle it so that it matches the other side. And there we go. So then I'm going to do this, and where the wings were bent before, they're going to go like that. And then you decide which side you want your head and neck to be. And I think this one has got a slightly funny bit, so I think it could do with a fold. So I'm going to put the head and neck of my crane on this side. So you can see it's there. There's its little beak. And then what you can also do is you can blow and slightly inflate the body of the crane so that it has, hold it there as well. Then you just stand that up, if it will stand up. So I've got that crane, and I've also got one that I made earlier. So now we have a small flock of cranes. And what I'm going to do now is, this isn't traditional, but I'm actually going, because I have plain paper, I'm actually going to add a little bit of decoration to my cranes, and I'm going to think about the way that some cranes in nature, so I'm going to use quite naturalistic colours. I've got a brown and I've got a black, so I'm going to, yes, I'm going to do almost kind of feather-like patterns. Kind of there. So it's almost slightly abstracted feather patterns. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So. And you could decorate these in any way that you wanted. There's no set way. In Japan, you'll get these made, they're normally made with plain coloured paper, but if you make larger cranes, then often they're decorated with paper that has kimono patterns on. So you might see cherry blossom, you might see peonies, you might see lots and lots of different patterns. Some of them can be very brightly coloured and some of them can be quite plain. And I'm also going to add a little bit of darkness there, just give the wings a little bit of definition. Then I'm going to actually decorate the neck as well. Right, either side of the neck. So this is just very rough, nothing nothing very, very fancy. And I'm going to leave it there for the moment. This is just to show the starting point. You could cover the wings completely. And yeah, so something very easy to do. You can make it with material you have around your house, even notepad paper. As I said before, lined paper is absolutely fine to use with this, just so long as you have a square. And you can make little tiny, tiny cranes. You can make huge, big cranes. But yeah, something that's quite easy to do. And yeah. And there are also, if my explanation was a bit haphazard, there are also lots of tutorials online as well. If you just look up origami crane, there will be step-by-step instructions that might be a bit clearer than this. But would love to see the cranes that you make. And yeah, all the best until next week. Speak to you soon. Goodbye.